in this edition of RPP News. Electorates still hang in the balance, safer speeds make safer roads, and the MSO is back in town. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. The state election results in Mornington and Hastings are still hanging in the balance a week after voting day. The winners of the seats may not be known for another few days as the Victorian Electoral Commission sorts absentee, pre-poll and postal votes. At the time of recording, Labor's Paul Mercurio was several hundred votes ahead of Liberal candidate Bryony Hutton for the seat of Hastings. In Mornington, the Liberal Party's Chris Crutho had an even smaller lead on independent Kate Lardner, who spoke to Tracy Hutchison on RPP's Peninsula Talks this week about why she thought the local community had got behind her.
They could see that the independents at a federal level were really walking the high road and introducing a different way of doing politics that had much more integrity than previously. But also I think being in opposition for, the best part of 2 decades, the community felt that we do miss out on funding down here for the basics, our roads, sporting facilities, our housing situation, schools, public transport. And so I think people realise that as an independent you can work with both sides of politics and you can actually get the funding that you need even if you're on the crossbench.
A man is fighting for his life following a single vehicle crash in Seaford last Sunday night. Police have been told the motorcyclist fell from his bike as he approached the intersection of Tea Tree Crescent and Centenary Street just after 10 p.m. Witnesses found the 36-year-old Seaford man injured on a nature strip and he was taken to hospital with suspected life-threatening injuries. Somerville Highway Patrol is investigating and they are appealing for anyone who may have witnessed the crash or who has dashcam footage to contact Crime Stoppers. Last Tuesday, the Mornington Peninsula Shire Council resolved to make the Safer Speeds trial permanent. The trial, which began in late 2019, introduced 80 km/h speed limits to 33 high-risk roads. This decision comes only weeks after it was revealed that the peninsula had the equal highest number of road deaths of all Victorian municipalities between 2014 and 2021. During the period of the trial, crashes on the selected roads reduced by 68% and there were no fatalities. In the past, the roads were notorious for deaths and injuries and had a high crash risk. In a moment of triumph for community campaigning, Oliver's Hill Boat Ramp became home to 3 mobile food and beverage operators this week. A loud public outcry recently prevented the loss of popular Frankston food truck Little Ollie's, who had failed in their bid to renew their permit by the shore. That tender was secured by Catie, who readily agreed to share the space with Little Ollie's and Cripps Family Fish and Chips, and in doing so rewrote Frankston Council's regulations. Catie is calling their van Picoletta, and they will be at the boat ramp with their fellow trucks all year round. Weekly summer recycling is coming back for Christmas to cater for the family and friends who will be visiting. Peninsula household recycling bins will be collected every week from the 12th of December until the 27th of January. The council will be putting extra public bins out to cater for the tourist influx, and they will be tagged with QR codes so the public can report any bins that get full or need attention. The Melbourne Symphony Orchestra is returning to the Frankston Arts Centre for the first time in 3 years, and they're bringing the mighty MSO Chorus. On Thursday, the 15th of December, they'll be performing Handel's most well-loved work, Messiah, which includes the exhilarating Hallelujah Chorus. The FAC is hosting a pre-show cocktail party with drinks and canapes, so get together with friends for a great pre-Christmas outing. Tickets are available at the FAC website and box office. After the break, we have this week's weather report.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs. specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Welcome back. Let's now turn to the weather and see if summer has actually arrived. Today, Sunday the 3rd of December, brought us a mostly sunny day with a high of 31 and a low of 18. Summer is definitely with us. Monday sees a partly cloudy day across the peninsula. However, there is a chance of storms later in the day. We're looking at a high of 23 and a low of 13. Tuesday is bringing us a partially cloudy wet day with a high of 18 and a low of 11. Wednesday the 7th of December brings us another partially cloudy day with a chance of showers. We can expect a top of 19 and a low of 9. Thursday will be a mostly wet day. We should reach a high of 17 and a low of 8. Friday sees the sun return on a partly cloudy day with a high of 22 and a low of 9. And finally, Saturday sees a warm, partly cloudy day with a high of 25 and a low of 12. Let's now cross to our surf guru Muzz with this week's Crack of Dawn Surf Report.
Morning, it's Muzz back with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. We had a pretty good week just gone to see out spring for November. It's not often you can make that calls. There's 2 days there in that Monday and Tuesday were more wintry surf-wise than pretty much most of the rest of the year's been. So we had a pretty good run last week. We had beach breaks at the early part of the weekend, and we had, as predicted, the swell come up and really decent waves in Western Port on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Today's first day of summer. Wind has gone back around to the southerly area as that high starts to move in. Looks like we've got some good weather coming our way over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday and into Monday, where it's going to be pretty close to 30 odd degrees, which could be good. The only problem is it looks like the winds will only be offshore to light in the morning, where it'll be mostly southerlies with sea breezes, so the wind's really not going to hook in from that northern quarter, which will clean the surf back up again. That'll mean as the swell drops out, there'll be beach breaks. It's going to be pretty solid on probably Saturday into Sunday and Monday, but there will be waves. It's not like it'll be coming out of the sky. It's going to be in that sort of 1.5 to 2 metre size. So there's a few banks lurking that'll hold it, and it's looking like maybe Wednesday next week there's going to be a bit of a jump in the swell, but I'm not going to hold my breath at this time of year. So average waves this week, but there will be surf. The sun's going to be out. Put the sunscreen on, have fun, and I'll see you.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.
I was diagnosed with ADHD late in life. I was in my mid-30s. I'd been blaming myself for the things that I was struggling with. And so getting the diagnosis really meant realigning my view of myself. I'm Belinda. I'm the Employee Brand Specialist at Bendigo and Adelaide Bank. I work in the recruitment team looking at ways to attract people to come and work for us as an organisation. I've got a very adorable niece who's just about 4 and she has a disability. She was born with one leg is like half the length of the other. So she uses prosthetics, sometimes she's in a wheelchair. I'm really keen to try and remove some of the barriers that I've faced and other people I know that have disabilities have faced to make her life easier. So when I look at my niece and other young kids with disability, what I want to see for them in the future is a world where there's less pressure to be normal and to be one type of way, and that complexity of humanity is appreciated. I think that neurodiversity is something that is getting much more attention in recent years. When I grew up, it was all naughty boy syndrome, right? It was the hyperactive boys running around disturbing classes. It wasn't the well-behaved kids that liked school that were daydreamers. So me sitting quietly, staring out a window, didn't get noticed in the same way that the disruptive boy did. It's not just men that have it. It affects a lot more people than we previously thought, in a lot more ways than we thought. I think one of the things that I love most about working at Bendigo and Adelaide Bank is that it's such a human workplace. People are so kind to each other and supportive. They all know what I'm capable of. So if I'm struggling, they're there to help support me, and if I'm doing well, they're there to cheer me on. One of the things I really value is having lots of places that are quiet and places that are busy, so that if you need people around you to get things done, you've got that option. But if you can't focus with people around, you've got places that you can go to get that focus work done. I think there's still a lot of stigma around invisible disabilities, especially, there's a lot more focus on depression and anxiety. Neurodiversity is still something that is just getting attention now. To be an ally to a person with a disability, just get to know them and make them feel comfortable, and don't make people feel ashamed for being different. Embrace that difference.